And I was searching through because I went and
Not sketch. It's really sketchy.
no, it's not sketchy, it's just not fun.
No, but like I also get closer and like I flew in. I was coming back from Canada a year, 2 years ago, and like it was a Sunday, and there were all these like entrances that were closed, like and like customs wasn't really open, and it was like it's Sunday, and I flew back and it was like 6 p.m. It wasn't like it was like super late, but it was like dead in like the customs area, and like only like they had like 1 or 2 of the agents open. It was like bare minimum of like staffing around. I was just like, I guess I know it's Sunday.
I gotta sleep.
Well, that's different. Yeah. Wow. Did you come here? Monday. Okay, good.
No,
I was gonna say
like a half day. I work with the back half of the day.
yeah.
But then also,
Because there wasn't that much. I mean, I live in Roslyn, so it's like right off 66. It's right there, but it's still like pain in the ass. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I try. If I fly, I try very hard to fly out of DCA just because it's like 10
well, I
minutes
was
from
just
my
I
house.
had to get the ground.
Of course you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though like the flights cover a lot.
Yeah. Then you don't have like the red lighting.
Yeah, well, and the fluorescent, that's like the biggest thing with the hallway is the fluorescent bulbs that still exist in it.
So like there's a bathroom there and then our staff probably wouldn't go to the
No,
bathroom.
It was funny, one of your guys, she's like, she didn't know that was why we were setting up. Like, why am I getting pictures taken of me as I'm walking to the bathroom?
But we're taking out the speakers, and there's that bathroom that's like right in the entrance to the speakers office.
Yeah.
And people are jogging in there, going into the bathroom and stuff. And they're like, they go into the speakers office, and it's in like they're just being like,
I'm using the bathroom.
right? It's like not everything is the same. Someone's hanging the speaker, and they're like, no, they wouldn't.
It's true though. I mean, they do have one in the speaker lobby on both sides now, which is great because it used to be that there was only a men's room in the lobby.
And it's like that's station on the second floor. There's no.
We have like the Lindy Boggs room in Staff Hall, but it's key code.
Right.
So, I mean, all the members have the code, but still.
Yeah, on the center side for staff.
Where the women's room is in the speaker's lobby was actually the parliamentarian's office, like the parliamentarian's office, not like the office called staff just for the officer. So that got changed, and now he's like in the office that's in the nook that's like above the sergeant office. But yeah, so that was.
Because they have like a little like after in the over like the sugar bowl they have like the like barn doors. Kind
Oh,
of
I know,
thing
yeah.
For like the men's set.
Well,
and the males.
the periodical, so the gallery, is it the periodical gallery? Oh, no, I think the periodical gallery or the deli gallery over there that has the swinging door still when you enter. The deli gallery, yeah. Still like looks like a little saloon that you're going into. Yeah. So I haven't been into like, I mean, I've been to the RTV gallery over there a lot, like recently, but not the other galleries in a while.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Good comfy couches for very late nights.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we get one more piece?
For this, it's hiding under my big sleeve. Yeah. Unless you give them that. I thought you were touching it.
No, I'm trying not to touch it.
You need help?
I don't know if I have it on tape.
Oh, do you mean another piece?
So eloquently, beautifully done.
Hey Anna, you have that NVIDIA thing? Mm-hmm. What happened to it?
Why?
Just kind of spells it or it told me to punch it.
Moved over.
Yeah.
Then we're good.
Yeah, some guys there wanting autographs got a little pushy and physical. Whereas
I'm not like
No, the mic is
up there.
Yeah.
that's so good.
Was
So
it
crazy.
Was it one of his officials?
No, it was a guy asking for an autograph.
Oh.
Like, you know, pushed and maybe like.
I don't
know about that. I didn't
Use
see
his
it.
fist if you
Like,
wish.
Jim,
no, I didn't
like
think it's
took
fine.
it like out of the way or whatever. And they were just. I don't know about this.
I didn't, I so that's why I was like, nah, this is real.
It is. Probably gonna sell the picture. Probably selling the picture.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it was weird. Still weird. Because then every time I like are changing haircuts, I'm like, asking for a weird autograph. What does you just say like? No, I think they were pictures of him and him. So like they want to sign. Hi. I don't want to spread rumors. But it was just weird. Very aggressive. Yes, Jim was like very upset.
You do that? Yeah, no.
Like,
Just,
you can't be everywhere, so I chose not to be there.
I thought it was weird. You seem like someone who was really bad. Who's on first? Someone that's on second, second or third on first.
No, I don't want that.
Find out.
Somebody comes up.
I was told two photographers got into it, but then someone else told Scotty, and it was like,
Yeah, it was not a photographer. It was a guy that wanted an autograph from Jackson Quinn.
were you guys there?
Yeah.
Did you throw one?
Nobody touched it.
I didn't know people were looking for autographs was still a thing.
These guys probably like trying to sign. There are pictures of him and Trump, like Jensen and Trump, and they were probably gonna sell them. Like they're just.
Oh.
They wanted him to sign baseball cards or something.
Testing,
Yeah, baseball
testing.
cards and,
1, 2,
like, pretty big prints of,
3.
like, him and Trump.
Really?
Is Anthony Davis leaving the Mavericks? That is the question people are wondering about
Go
right
ahead,
now.
go where you
That's what people are wondering. Was it a bad trade, Luka Doncic? For,
That's right. I don't really care.
I know.
Yeah.
can you?
Can we just go down in front?
Yeah, just go wherever.
Can,
There's just these two cameras, so they said I can stand here. So
I'm gonna go down, so should not be in.
I put it on my own.
Might as well go down.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it. Oh, wait, did this unravel? Looks like it,
Hard ass graphic.
it unravels. Hold on. Yeah, I just don't know if it'll stay. They were trying so hard with this. Well, no, this is moving because I'm trying to get this to stay because your recorder keeps unraveling.
I'm just gonna stand for now.
Maybe stick another piece of tape on that side. I don't think this is. It unraveled, but we're fixing it.
Who put it up here?
Wasn't me. I would be worse at it.
To make sure that this doesn't move too much. 'Cause that was like a big thing. It's
not gonna make a huge
difference.
Something on here.
I don't know. Is it like this, maybe? It might be here.
I might.
You just don't want to pull this one too much because this one was put to pull it a little bit that way.
Okay, this might drop. no pun intended, as much drops during the first hour. Probably my last day. So.
If it drops, listen. All right. Need a thought. So guys, we're just gonna try to all stand on the marble. So if you wanna try to select a spot, that would be great.
It's got to be a better place to do it. They should just do it in Will Rogers. Yeah, and almost anything's better than this.
Yeah, it's
Because like the reporters also have to be on this. Like no one can be on the carpet for this.
it's not going to work though. People are going to
I
spill
know.
over it.
I'm just saying that's how it was last time. They wouldn't even let the reporters stand.
Was it going to be? Is it going to be someone from the speakers, like watching if they? You know,
Probably not. But like. So did you see the movie guy at all?
no.
Yeah, I haven't gone. I might go
Scalzo
over
just
there.
messaged me and said that it was absolutely wasn't good.
Okay.
It was, yeah.
Mic check, test,
'Cause I got
tested.
flagged
Mic
for
test,
this and
check,
the-
check, tested.
Both places at the same time. He's over there now. Maybe after
Yeah,
this.
I don't know. He said it was.
I personally am okay if I get
So, Secretary Duffy, could you say a few
Thank you,
words?
Mr. President. So yesterday at the cabinet meeting, the president was talking about affordability, and the way that Democrats talk about affordability is a lie. Today is a perfect example of that. So these CAFE standards used what was contrary to the law. The Congress set a rule that says you have to look at combustion engines. Biden and Buttigieg actually did an analysis using
Edge.
Buttigieg used EVs and hybrids to come up with a 62 mile an hour per gallon standard, which I think the president was talking about affordability, and the way that Democrats talk about affordability is a lie. Today is a perfect example of that. So these CAFE standards used what was contrary to the law. The Congress set a rule that says you have to look at combustion engines. Biden and Buttigieg actually did an analysis using
Edge.
Buttigieg used EVs and hybrids to come up with a 62 mile an hour per gallon standard, which I think the car companies will tell you is completely unattainable. So they spent a lot of money on technology trying to meet the unattainable standard, driving up the cost of a car, number one. And then number two, if they couldn't meet the unattainable standard, they had to trade for carbon, costing billions of dollars, and again, driving up the price of the car. So, Mr. President, what Democrats were doing were not making cars more affordable, they're making them less affordable. The consequence of that is going to be that more Americans can afford to buy a new car, which means they're going to be safer on the roads because of all the great new technology we have that save lives. So we'll have less death on American roads. These rules are going to allow the automakers to make vehicles that Americans want to purchase, not vehicles that Joe Biden and Buttigieg wants them to build, which is important. But also, this is important for American jobs. The more cars we sell, the more jobs we have in this country. And so this is jobs, this is freedom, and this is common sense, Mr. President. So thank you for your leadership. And I appreciate what the Senate did with the big, beautiful bill and what we've done here today. So thank you, Mr.
very
President.
much. The big, beautiful bill is it's something. It's amazing. Wait till people see the benefits and the lower taxes that they're going to have, lower regulations. So, how about Ford?
Mr. President and Secretary, all the important lawmakers here, competitors, today is a victory of common sense and affordability. We're very proud of Ford to be the #1 auto producer in our country. 80% of the vehicles we sell here we make in our country.
Right.
And we never left, unlike many of our competitors. We're the #1 exporter, and we have the most auto factory workers. And this CAFE standard that is aligned with customer demand is the right move for a lot of reasons. We were #2 last year in EV sales. We were #3 in hybrid, and we're the leading brand for combustion. We believe that people should be able to make a choice, as you said, Mr. President, and we will invest more in affordable vehicles. This allows us to invest in affordable vehicles made in the U.S., which we will take the lead on, and will allow us to make vehicles more affordable. So thank you for making this step for all of you.
Thank you very much. One of the other things we're doing, it's separate from this meeting, but I think everybody here would agree with it. If you go to Japan, where I just left, and if you go to South Korea and Malaysia and other countries, they have a very small car, sort of like the Beetle used to be with the Volkswagen. They're very small, they're really cute. And I said, how would that do in this country? And everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them. And I've authorized the secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars. So you'll be able to buy, they really are, they're actually, some of them are really beautiful, actually. If you take a look, Honda, some of the Japanese companies do a beautiful job. But we're not allowed to make them in this country, and I think you're going to do very well with those cars. So we're going to approve those cars. Would you like to say something about that?
Well, no, just that he never stops working, so even when he's on Asian time, he's calling me at midnight in the States. But he gave me the directive to clear the regulations on this, which we have. And so if Toyota or any other company wants to make smaller, more affordable cars, fuel efficient, we have cleared the deck so they can make them in America and sell them in America.
They're really nice and less expensive. And it really gives people a chance to have a car, you know, have a brand new car as opposed to a car that maybe isn't so great. And so you car companies start thinking about that. I think it's going to be a tremendous market. Please, would you like to say something?
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great day for us at Stellantis today, because it's the day where we see CAFE regulation reconciled with real customers' demand. That's why at Stellantis we decided to invest to Jeep, Ram, Dodge, and Chrysler $13 billion in the next 4 years, increasing production by 50%, delivering to the market 5 new vehicles, and creating 5,000 additional jobs. That's because we believe in what you, Secretary Duffy, and all your team is doing in this country. We believe in growth, and we are ready to invest even more. So thank you very much. Thank you very much also for this great news of the Kei cars, which we are very interested in, and we are very looking forward to work with Secretary Duffy, your team, in the future for the next steps. Thank you very much.
Well, get ready for those cars because we've already cleared the way. You can start right away.
We will. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Please.
Mr. President, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much.
We support your leadership for this issue that is so important to the auto industry. I'm here representing the hard-working men and women of Orion Assembly in Michigan.
Right.
The facility, our manufacturing facility there, is currently going through a retool so that we can build additional U.S. manufactured pickup trucks and full-size sport utilities for our customers, and we're so excited about that. And thank you for your support. Secretary Duffy, thank you as well.
And this is largely coming in because of the tariff situation. We're taking in trillions of dollars, actually, trillions, and we have so many other advantages. But these great companies are coming back to the United States. They left the United States. If somebody was sitting behind this desk that knew what they were doing, that wouldn't have happened. They would have said, well, you can sell your car here, but we're going to put 100% tariff. And you would have never had the auto industry leave. Again, we lost more than 50% of our auto industry. And now it's all coming back. And I think it's coming back. Ultimately, it's going to be bigger. I believe it's going to be bigger than it was before, actually. But it's an honor to have you here. And please, would you like to say something?
President,
Thank you very much.
Tom Castrator, sir. I'm the chairman of National Automobile Dealers that represent 18,000 dealers in the country, along with 3,000 heavy-duty truck dealers. And what the actions that you've done as the president and your administration is definitely going to save our customers money. And you made your promises that let the consumer buy what they want, sir, and you delivered on that. And the other thing that you delivered was your promise in the big, beautiful bill, the tax deduction on loans that had gone away some years back. Right. And now that makes it affordable for our buyers that can save money through that loan of the tax, anywhere from several hundred to several thousand. So again, sir, on behalf of all the dealers and our customers, we appreciate what you and your administration have done, and of course our legislative support as well, Mr. President.
Thank you. That's very nice, and I'm glad you brought that up. We're allowing people to deduct. So if you go out and buy a car, and this is for middle income, but for lower income, no matter what. They never really had deductions. You know, rich people like deductions, but middle-income people were never really afforded deductions, which is very unfair. You borrow money to buy a car, you're allowed to deduct the interest from your income tax. And I think that's going to be one of the most, in terms of your industry, I think it's going to be the biggest thing that we're talking about, maybe even bigger than CAFE standards. People are going to be able to borrow money, deduct it, so it's going to cost them essentially half. And
it'll help. Yes, sir.
I think it's going to be a tremendous factory. They've never had a chance to do that before. And that's all done. That's all in the great, big, beautiful bill. So it's really terrific. I'd like to ask a couple of our political leaders to say, because you guys have done an amazing job. This was something that was going to be very tough. We had to fight lunatics to get it done, and they had no answers. You know, you just present them with the facts, and they just say, well, we're just not going to vote for it. They couldn't talk about it, but they didn't want to vote. I see Mike Kelly, my friend back there, has been with me from day one, right?
Yep.
What do you have to say, Mike?
Well, you know what? I think you hit the key. Everybody's talking about the same thing. In America...
Look at the way they like each other. You can see, there's no hatred between these two guys.
No, as long as I beat his price, we're friends. But you hit it right on the head. The American people have always been able to choose what they want to buy. Right. They don't want to be taken out of a market by people who, quite frankly, don't even drive their own car, and saying this is the way you've got to go going into the future, and say, well, you may say that, but you're not in the market, you have no idea. And I know the business we're in, At the end of the day, if you were there with me, I'd say, oh, so Mr. President, other than price, what's keeping you from taking the car home today? It's always price. And the fact that we can build a car that's affordable, that people want to buy, that's the key to it. What you've done is unlock the most ridiculous statute that ever came in with CAFE. It wasn't done by the Congress. It wasn't done, it was done by President Obama after the courts failed on it. So thank you for doing what you're doing. You're making America great again in every single way. Thank you.
Thank you. It's going to be so big for the auto manufacturers. People aren't even going to believe the impact this has. You know, Mike used to come to my rallies all the time, and we'd have a rally, and it was like 0 degrees. It was freezing, everyone, and he'd sit there without a shirt on. And I didn't need that, you know. I didn't say it was pretty, but he would sit there in the cold, and he didn't mind it at all. I said, that's one tough cookie, right?
You lit it up. We didn't need any heat. You were there.
We had a good time. We had a lot of great rallies.
We
right?
did. We did.
Pennsylvania. Please, Mr. Congressman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I represent the dealer body. I'm a dealer, and we got some other dealers in here, but this is huge for the dealer body, the local car dealer. We're going to be able to sell what the customer wants. The manufacturer's going to make what the customer wants. We've got all kinds of options to the big bill. It's going to enable people, as we talked about, to deduct payments and so forth. As we say in the business, they've never been cheaper than they are today, Mr. President. And it's going to be a great opportunity for the dealer body to sell what consumers want. And 99% of the businesses in America are small businesses. Many are car dealers, employ a lot of people. It's going to be a great year for us. We appreciate your leadership. And we appreciate, from a retail standpoint, we appreciate the manufacturers going to step up and build cars that customers want and that we want to sell. So thank you very much. It makes it a great country.
He's also a very brave congressman because he was there on the baseball field that horrible day with Steve Scalise and some other people. He was hit, but he took it very well. You took it very well. You're my pal.
Thank you.
Thanks. Great job.
Appreciate you.
Great job. Appreciate it. Kevin, could you say a few words of wisdom? One of the really smart economic forecasters, I will tell you. Beyond an economist, he's a real forecaster. Please.
Sir, I think that there's a massive macroeconomic benefit to what we're doing today. And the way to think about it is that the car that has the best gas mileage that you could buy that has only gasoline is a Honda that gets about 36 miles per gallon. Joe Biden wanted to make every car on average be above 50. So there's no car made in the U.S. that you would be able to sell 2 years from now, 3 years from now under that rule. Because what he wanted to do was make everybody have an electric car, as you know. But here's the thing, that if everybody had an electric car, then nobody would be buying gasoline anymore, and they'd have to take all the miles that they travel and put it on the grid. And so we would have to increase the production of electricity in the U.S. by 25% over the next couple of years if they had their way. And so you've really stopped a massive disruption for the economy with this. So thank you, sir.
That wasn't the main reason, and yet it certainly is a main reason. You wouldn't have been able to do it even if you wanted it. It's just so crazy. That was the mandate, which we ended. Troy, would you like to say something?
Great honor. Thank you. My family is a former dealer, 48 years, Chrysler Dodge dealer. And then I got into the political world, sir. I had more fun in the dealership world, but I miss it. But I still play a big role in automobiles and grateful. I remember under President Obama when the CAFE standards changed, as Mike brought up, and going through those challenging times as a Chrysler dealer before Stellantis came along. It was Daimler before you guys got it. So thank you very much for being here and making these changes. And as you said, that interest on the car loan piece was big. And I know that Bernie led the charge on that in the Senate and get it into one big, beautiful bill. That really is a big deal, and people need to understand how big a deal that is.
They did a great job. And by the way, we had a great victory last night.
I like our race.
He's going to be a great congressman. I think so. Really, like us, right?
Yeah, I think like us.
One of my early endorsements, right?
Yes, sir.
Can we talk about it? You're right here, Zip man. Come in. Let me say hello to you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership. But the thing I've admired most, you've been in business, you've been in the battles over the years, and you're helping us lead us out. Most people that are up here have no idea about business or small business. It makes a big difference. One is. Number two is, I would just say in terms of the tax stuff we're talking about, one of the things that get missed, and I'm in Florida, Sarasota region, is the ability to deduct Most people have a small business, they'll have a lawn business, they'll have this, that, they buy a new or used truck. They can take that deduction, let's say they're in a 20% tax bracket, but the vehicle's 60 grand, they can take 20% of the 60 grand, get a $12,000 write-off. They can pay their payments for the first year. That's a powerful tool we don't talk about, I don't know why, but at the end of the day, because of what you've put in place, full expensing,
right.
That's the tool that would use. And you could just think about all the people in Florida, just general places. They're buying old vans or new vans. They're buying trucks, mainly trucks, and they're getting a deduction. They don't even have a payment for a year.
That's right.
So it's one of the best things for
One
Ford
of the
and
biggest
everybody
things in the bill.
else. Expensing is a powerful tool. They can write the whole asset off the first year, take that deduction, put $12,000 in their pocket on a $20,000. Well, let me mention one other thing. They got into the e-vehicles, electric cars, and I'm talking to dealers that come in and talk to me, and basically they couldn't sell one, they couldn't give one away, and when these companies, or they got in because of whatever political pressure under Biden administration, and they end up realizing that they got no market. A guy says, the car's been sitting there a year, I can't get rid of it. So they don't understand the market. The people produce the vehicles, and that's made a big difference in your leadership. But thanks for what you're doing here today. It's big, it's huge. It'll make a big difference. $12,000 on a $60,000 vehicle up front, day one. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You know, we're just talking about something that's interesting. Ford would make, and I don't want to speak for Ford because we have one of the top people right here.
Mr. President, it's fine if you want to talk about Ford.
Ford would make numerous electric cars in order to sell one Ford 150. Yes. Because they'd make all their money with the 150.
Yes.
And they were willing to lose money on building 2 or 3 electric cars that they couldn't sell in order to make some money on the 150, because the 150 is a monster. I'll tell you what, that no matter where you go, they love that Ford 150.
Yes.
But isn't it a ridiculous model when you have to build 2 or 3 cars that you know you're not going to be selling or not be selling for much in order to really do something that you should have the right to do, which is make a car that you want to make.
Yes.
And that the market wants, right? So congratulations on the 150.
Thank you. Best-selling vehicle in the United States.
Just saying.
Look at that. Now it's 100% built in the United States.
Now it's only going to do. No, but it really is. It's amazing. It's an amazing brand.
There was a lot of stupid things done here.
What would you like to say?
Yeah, I thank you, Mr. President and Secretary Duffy and all of us. You know, one of the last times I was here is when you signed the Electric Vehicle CRA Congressional Review Act that all of us participated in. The beginning of really making common sense, because it was going to impact 17 other states and really a large part of our economy. Because it was going to impact 17 other states and really a large part of our economy. This is about affordability here. I'm just going to say one thing. Well, maybe I already said one thing, so now I'm going to say 2 things. When we talk about a car and auto, we sort of talk about just, oh, we need a car. Do you know what a car does for a family? You can take your children to school, you can go to the store, you can visit your mother, you can go to church, you can have a job, you have the flexibility that you need. A car for an American family is about a roadway to prosperity.
Big deal.
It's a big deal. And so by making them more affordable, making them more choice-driven by what families want and need, today is a great day for the American family.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely, and the American worker.
Say.
Well, thank you, Mr. President and Secretary Duffy, and to my colleagues that are here. In Tennessee, we make great automobiles, and we have a fantastic workforce. And whether you're GM or Ford, with their new investment in Tennessee, or Nissan or VW or Toyota with the engine plant, what you see is the components that are necessary to build these cars. And removing these standards and making cars more affordable does mean that more people will purchase them, but it also means we're going to have to make more cars to meet that demand, and for Tennessee, that is a great thing.
So, you know, I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking, like, we have the biggest auto manufacturers in the world. They're talking about investing billions and they're investing it as we speak, but billions and billions of dollars in our country. Thank you very much. And they're here. They're not like, well, maybe we'll do it. They're doing it because of tariffs. and they're doing it because of maybe they like the president, and we're doing things like this for them, which frankly, no matter who you are, this should be done. And we're doing things like deductibility of interest when you borrow money. To buy a car, you're allowed to deduct it from your income tax. That is a massive tax cut for people that probably are going to be trying to buy that car anyway. And I really think that interest factor is going to be one of the biggest things. I was proud of that because I thought of it, and it seems so simple. Other people are allowed big interest. If you're a rich person, you're allowed to have big interest deductions for different things you do. But if you're a middle-income person that has to buy a car, you were never entitled to anything. And now you're getting a full interest deduction on the loan. And I think that's going to have one of the biggest impacts. But we're here with companies that are investing tens of billions of dollars in our country as we speak. It's not going to be in 2 years or 3 years. A lot of it's because of the expensing provision in the bill, the big, beautiful bill. But a miracle is happening in our country. It's a miracle. This is just the auto industry, but we have other industries where it's the same thing. They're building all over our country, and this is a revolution is happening. It's a business revolution. It's a jobs revolution. It's a car revolution. We're bringing back the car industry that was stolen from us because we have people that didn't know what they were doing sitting at this desk. They put the wrong people in because they weren't advised properly. And this is really an incredible thing that's happening. Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. And I think in many respects, pretty much everything that could be said has been, except that I think what Kevin talks about in terms of the cascading economic opportunity from this one single event is just the tip of the iceberg. When you think of all the rules and regulations that you have repealed, I think it's more important, frankly, than the tax cuts. However, in the working family tax cuts,
making things more affordable for normal people. Nothing could be more American than driving a car on a highway, and this is going to make that more accessible for more people. So thanks for your leadership.
Your state's doing a great job.
Yeah, well, they love you too.
It's a great place. Thank you. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to talk to you just a minute from a rural perspective,
Okay.
because these CAFE standards were absolutely unworkable in rural Missouri. We need vehicles that are practical and affordable and can haul for our small businesses, for agriculture, and it just simply didn't work. Those CAFE standards didn't work. So I applaud you and Secretary Duffy for your hard work and what you're doing on behalf of rural America.
Well, it was keeping a lot of manufacturers out of our country, too. They said, we're not going to, are you crazy? They thought, outside manufacturers thought we were absolutely insane with all of the different things. It was just made up nonsense. It was like made up. It was really made up by people that hate our country. I really believe. Does anybody else have anything to say?
I'd say about two quick things, Mr.
Oh,
President.
no, Bernie, I didn't see you.
Two quick things.
Hey, Lauren, can you hear me? The president is speaking right now. We're waiting for him to finish so that we can start the 4 o'clock show.
Oh, no. Tell him to stop.
Right. So we might be maybe a few more minutes. Hopefully not much longer, but just wanted to give you a heads up.
At least it's warm out.
Is it? Thank you, Tom. I heard you, Tom. Thank you.
You got it.
Love you.
I wrote something at the top. Okay, thank you. What he just said. At the top of
Possible in 4 years. We did it in 10 months. That's something
Julie,
that
at the
maybe
top
the
of
news
what?
should cover a little bit more. And we've driven down the price of automobiles. Car prices for consumers
I don't
are
see
down
it on the-
before you.
okay.
Just about everything is down. You know, this whole thing is, they use the word affordability. It's a Democrat hoax. They're the ones that drove the prices up. And all they do is say, affordability.
I see
and you're
it.
supposed to say, oh, that means they had low prices. No, we inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but let's say that's history. I don't believe that. Biden had, because of his stupid ways and between his energy policies and his spending policies, we had the worst inflation in the history of our country. And now our prices are coming down. And they're coming down for cars, and they're coming down. I mean, did you hear yesterday when Chris Wright from Energy, the head of energy in our country, said there are now parts of our country, it's all happening, $1.99 for gasoline, a gallon. And we have it at $2.50, $2.60. It was at $5. And that's bigger than any tax cut we could give. And, for the average family, that's considered bigger than any tax cut. So the word affordability, when they mention it, you ever watch them? It's all about, I saw the young lady that lost last night. She lost by a lot more than they thought. And we have a great new candidate in Congress, really great, Matt Van Epps. But I saw last night, she said, it's all about affordability, all about, they never talk about like the specifics. Right. Everything was through the roof. Eggs, when I took over, eggs were 4 times higher than they ever were. We got the prices down to the lowest level. Yep. I mean, amazing. But they never, you got to watch, they're great con people. It's like the Inflation Reduction Act. And after they got it approved, because everybody said inflation reduction, they admitted it had nothing to do with reducing inflation. It's a con job. I think affordability is the greatest con job. They look at you and they say, affordability. They don't say anything else. Everyone says, oh, their prices were so low. No, they had the worst inflation. We had the highest prices we ever had, and now they're all coming down, including beef is coming down. Beef was up there a little bit. Our ranchers did well, but we got to make them do a little bit less well, perhaps. But the beef is now coming down. Coffee is now coming down. It's all coming down. And it's a beautiful thing to see. But remember this, when they use the word affordability, they just say, they never say anything else. This election's about affordability, and then they go into the next subject. It's a con job. They caused the highest prices in the history of our country, the worst inflation in the history of our country, and we're getting those prices down, and they're coming down rapidly. And you'll see those results very soon. Anybody else want to say a few words? Oh, Ted, I can't believe it.
I'm easy to miss.
It's very rare that I would miss it. Go ahead, Ted.
Well, Mr. President, I want to congratulate you on behalf of everyone here for the leadership that you're showing. And this is a victory today for consumers. This is a victory for affordability. Your critics like to say the word affordability. Under Joe Biden and the Democrats, they put mandate after mandate after mandate on cars.
Hey girl, we're about to jump out of this in 2 minutes. Jay is giving us back control so we can just go to you.
The CAFE standards. We wrote that into the law that the CAFE standards went to 0. What does that mean? It means you can now, as a consumer, buy the car you want. It also means people's lives will be safer, because what these regulations did is they forced cars to be more expensive and made of plastic instead of steel, because you had to make them lighter to comply with these standards, so you'd get in a wreck and people would die. The result of what you're doing, you're literally saving people's lives, and you're making it where families can afford to get a new car. These actions will drop the cost of cars and trucks thousands of dollars. That makes a real difference. And I'll make one final point. You know, about half the members here are car dealers. And I will say my good friend Roger Williams out in the lobby, he tried to sell me a car, which didn't surprise me, but I just want to give props to Mike Kelly. He showed he was savvier because he tried to sell you a car. And you can
Us on this Wednesday, December 3rd. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jamie Sherrod. You've been listening to President Trump announcing a proposal to weaken vehicle mileage rules for the auto industry. Now, if the plan announced is finalized next year, it would ease pressure on automakers to control pollution from gasoline-powered cars and trucks. The proposal would significantly reduce fuel economy requirements through the 2031 model year. Those requirements set on how far new vehicles need to travel on a gallon of gasoline. We will, of course, have more on that tonight at 5. In the meantime, more protests today over a proposed AI data center in Saline. Those against the project are picketing outside DTE headquarters in Detroit, and that is exactly where we find Fox News' Lauren Edwards, and we are going to check in with her now. Lauren, what can you tell us?
Jamie, I can tell you that that protest is behind me. DTE headquarters are in front of me, but I want to step out of the way so you can see for yourselves what's going on, because it's actually, in fact, wrapping up. But I can tell you that it started at 3, and it's a lot of the same group that I met, I would say, earlier this week over in Saline Township. You know, they were in downtown Saline, and they were all gathered together protesting the data center, protesting, just more so getting their voices heard, getting the word out about why they're so against it. And a lot of the reasons is just pollution, air quality, what's going to happen to the water supply, but also skyrocketing energy bills. That's a big thing that they really, really fear with these data centers. And they say they've done the research and they see all of this happening elsewhere in the country. So they simply don't want it to happen here. But tonight, what brings them in front of DTE is that they're thinking, don't want to point any fingers or anything, but they're thinking that there might be some sort of a secret deal where they're going to be meeting with the Michigan Public Service Commission, and they want to just hurry up and get this done. And the group behind me saying that no, that, you know, they just want fairness. They want their voices heard. They want to be a part of this process. And so they're hoping that it's delayed, or that, you know, they can end the data center coming at all. So there's just so many reasons why folks are out here, because let me tell you, it is cold, so they are out here for a reason. Now, also, just like on Monday, I reached out to OpenAI, who's behind the project. I also reached out to DTE because I want to get their thoughts and perspective on it all. Just waiting to hear back. But this protest is just wrapping up. Again, they just want to get their voices heard, that they are opposed. They're opposed to all that's going on, and they want to make sure that environmental and air quality and water quality standards are met before anything.
And Lauren, you can tell how passionate they are about this protest, especially when you consider just how cold it is out there. And we've heard their concerns being voiced the last time we checked in with you the other day on a similar protest in another area. And, you know, now they're just keeping it going. So we'll see if these protests will, if anything will come of it, if they'll see that change they want to see.
Oh, hoping for the best, hoping that their voices are heard no matter what, because tonight is a public hearing and they thinking that there might be a vote on Friday. Don't know for sure. But yeah, that's why I reached out to DTE, just to get some more information from them about what is their role in all this. What is it that they want? What do they hope for? So we'll see, Jamie.
All right. Looking forward to your story later tonight, Lauren. Thank you. Well, a Pontiac man now facing charges stemming from the murder of his stepfather. 26-year-old Terrell Edwards was arraigned today on charges of first-degree murder and felony firearms possession. He's accused of killing 52-year-old Antonio Craig, who was found shot to death inside his salt truck near his Pontiac home just before 7:30 on Saturday. Edwards allegedly shot Craig 4 times, and his family says the suspect has a history of mental illness. Well, a pivotal hearing today for the 3 men accused of killing a 6-year-old Detroit boy in a drive-by shooting. Fox News' Robin Murdoch has those developments.
I'm standing outside 36th District Court right behind me here in Detroit, where in just a couple of hours, a judge is expected to hear from a few more witnesses and then decide if there is enough evidence for these 3 suspects to go on trial for shooting and killing this 6-year-old boy over the summer. As you can imagine, it has just been agony for his family as well as his friends as they try and get through this difficult time and really navigate life without him. Now, prosecutors say it was back in July that those 3 suspects opened fire on a group outside of a home near 6 Mile and Joseph Campo on the city's east side. And one of those stray bullets, we are told, in that drive-by, prosecutors say went through the window of 6-year-old Riley Love's home, hitting and killing him while he was playing inside. Now, 30-year-old DeMontrell Wilson and 28-year-old Deontay Cherry, as well as Terrence Blue, they all face murder and firearm charges as well as conspiracy charges connected to this. Now, several neighbors as well as investigators, even Riley's mother, testified at a previous hearing about that horrific night on July 27th when everything changed for them. Take a listen to his heartbroken mother.
What did you hear?
A loud pop sound.
And when you heard that loud pop sound, where were you?
I was standing in front of Riley.
And where was Riley? Still in the front room?
He's on the floor.
When Riley falls, what do you do?
I pick him up, I scream his name, he doesn't respond.
Again, little Riley died after being shot in the head. Now, the judge will decide a little bit later on this afternoon whether there is enough evidence for those 3 suspects to go to trial. That hearing is expected to happen at 1:30 this afternoon inside 36th District Court right behind me. Of course, stay with us right here at Fox 2 News for the very latest developments, both on air as well as online. In Detroit, I'm Robin Murdoch, Fox 2 News.
Well, a big mess in Melvindale earlier today. Around 2 a.m., a water main broke over a gas line, causing both to begin leaking. It all happened near Oakwood and Elizabeth, and it's because of the leaks both Allendale and Syed schools were forced to close for the day. Strong Middle School and Melvindale High School remain open. DTE and fire crews were on scene to fix the problem. A student has been expelled from the Parks Alternative Education Center in Ecorse after bringing a gun into the building. The weapon was found inside the student's backpack yesterday morning after Ecorse police received an anonymous tip from a classmate. Superintendent Joshua Tallison says the school usually has a security officer on site to screen students through a metal detector as they enter. But that officer did not show up to work, and the superintendent claims the security company never let school officials know. He calls this failure unacceptable and says the district is working to make sure it never happens again. Some confusion for dozens of students at Detroit's Leyland House Apartments. That confusion, on Friday, they got a letter stating they need to be moved out by today. And that's because DTE was turning the power off. The landlord allegedly owes the company $40,000 under a bankruptcy agreement. And now the owner has come up with the money to keep the lights on. But it's not clear if that will be enough to keep the building open. That's because there are some other maintenance issues that need to be addressed. A bankruptcy judge is expected to make a decision tomorrow. And in the past few weeks, we've talked about the dangers gaming apps have on kids, including Roblox. Congressman John James believes he has a solution. He's introducing legislation called the App Store Accountability Act. It would require age verification and parental consent for anyone under 18 to download those apps. It would also link minors' devices to a parent or guardian. James says the goal is to keep kids from accessing age-restricted content and to hold tech companies accountable.
I believe that kids cannot consent, and parents have a right to know. I believe that our kids should not be engaged with or by adult or addictive material in the physical world or on the online world. Our social media has become a cesspool of solicitation and in many cases hate and things that our children aren't ready for, and certainly things that our parents should be aware of. This bill, the App Store Accountability Act that I'm leading, is going to be another step in the right direction for parental rights and protecting our kids.
Well, James has introduced this bill previously with no success. This time he says it appears to be gaining traction and it could be his last chance. He's not running for re-election and is instead hoping to win the Republican nomination for Michigan's governor. A Westland landlord accused of sexually harassing female tenants is now facing a lawsuit from the Justice Department. According to the DOJ, William Asper allegedly offered tenants benefits